like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind?
Howdy there, people of the internet. It's me again, Will. Today, I'm answering the top 5 most pressing questions that people have asked me about Jared Leisek, the founder, co-founder, whichever you prefer, of Adventures with Purpose, AWP. These questions, and of the 5 that I'm going to be answering today, have been asked well excess of 100 times. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. The number one question, the most asked by everybody out there, if Jared Leisek is guilty of these crimes, why hasn't he been arrested? And it's a very valid question. The answer is, ladies and gentlemen, is Jared Leisek has a residency not in the state of Utah. He has a residency in the state of Oregon. In order for them to get a warrant and issue one and serve it upon Jared, they would have to extradite him back from Oregon. And you can bet your last dollar he's not going to make it easy on them to be extradited back to the state of Oregon. They can arrest him, take him to the county jail, and then he can fight the extradition back to the state of Utah. Now, he could walk into court to enter his next, in his first initial court hearing, enter his plea of guilty or not guilty. And if they have an extraditable warrant at that time, they could arrest him and take him directly to jail. The second option is Jared Leisek, through his attorney, would have to come to an agreement with the district attorney in Sanpete County to voluntarily turn himself in. This would be the best outcome for everyone involved in this case. But we all know Jared is a wimpy little man. And yes, go ahead and sue me for that, Jared. He's a wimpy little man, I said it twice, who is not going to make it easy on the victim or anyone else. So he's not going to turn himself in. Does Utah, the state, have laws that allow convictions to go back so far? I'll give you an example, because so many people seem to have an issue with the fact that it's been 30 years since he committed the crime. Why are they even allowed to go back that far? There is no statute of limitations when it comes to the Nazis who, and the Nuremberg trial, and the Nazis who tortured, killed, and maimed so many Jews in the war. There's no there's no limit of how long and how far out they can actually go for that. In the state of Utah, they have decided underneath their own state constitution and laws that there will never be a limit on how far back they can go to prosecute sex crimes. The state of Utah has had a huge and long and adverse history when it comes to sex crimes and children. Abuse from the either the Mormon Church, the Catholic Church, or individuals as themselves, as in this situation with someone like Warren Jeffries. He, in that case, they went back as far as the very first victim, the first person that he abused. So they decided that they do not want a statute of limitations, and that is their right. In the state of Utah, the voters have decided and supported that there is no, limit on how long it can actually be to seek a conviction of a sex crime. So that's the answer to your question. If everyone from AWP has resigned, like you've said in multiple videos, why are there new videos coming out, and are they being compensated? Okay. According to Josh Cantu, who was the former video editor and the videographer for AWP, he was one of a couple of who had that position with AWP. There are 3 missions, adventures, where they went on to try to find deceased loved ones in bodies of water. Each and every one of those episodes were done before the allegations against Jared ever came out. So everyone is still there with the group. Now, each one of those, he said, is a 3-part series. Part 1 initially getting to know the victim, information about the victim, setting up an actual the search area, talking to family, blah blah blah. That's the first episode, and so on until the actual discovery or they give up on the case. So each one of them of the 3 videos has 3 videos. So you can see that's 9 total videos that they could make. But he said with the B-roll footage that has been cut from each and every one, they could easily expand it out to be 5 videos for each one of those 3 cases. And each one, that would mean 3-4 months worth of actual content that has already been filmed that is owned solely by Jared Leisek and his wife. Are the former members who have resigned receiving compensation? The answer to that is absolutely no. They are receiving nothing. Jared is receiving 100% of the ad revenue from Google. Jared is receiving 100% of the paid memberships for people who still support him financially and AWP. Jared is receiving 100% of the super chat. Jared is receiving 100% of the super thanks. That is kind of like a super chat that you can do on a video or live stream that is after the fact. It's right there on the bottom underneath the video. Okay, that's 4 different avenues of income. 5th one is that Jared is still receiving 100% of the income from those who are members through their website. And 6th one, on top of that, Jared is receiving 100% of the income that is received from the purchase of merchandise, bumper stickers, t-shirts, and everything else merchandise-wise. So all 6 avenues of income right now is going solely to Jared Leisek. I'm sure he's given his wife some money so she can go shopping on the backs of those who worked so hard for the content. If those members wish to sue Jared down the road, that would be a civil matter. But right now, he is not sharing any of it with anyone else. Okay, next. Has Paul, the CEO of Adventures with Purpose, resigned as well? You didn't mention him. I don't know who Paul is. That's the absolute answer. So I done some digging into it. There is no Paul with AWP. There never has been a Paul with AWP. There are no publicly, officers, no CEO, no CFO, no, corporate officers at all with AWP. And how do I know this? In the state of Oregon, you must register if you are a member, CEO, CFO, corporate officer, accountant, anything with an actual private or public business. AWP, where it is incorporated and where the business is headquartered out of Jared's home, does not have any corporate officers listed anywhere. You can put whatever you want on a website page. It does not make it true. There are no corporate officers, I can't stress this enough, with AWP. The only ones who are in control and ownership or a corporate officer or would act as a corporate officer is Jared Leisek or his wife. When is Jared's next court date? According to the Sanpete County courthouse, all it says is that Jared will be entering his initial first court appearance, never really happened, but his first initial plea of guilty or not guilty will be done via teleconferencing. That means he will not be there in person. His attorney very well may be there in person, but Jared will not be. So, and all it says is he will be entering that plea teleconference, like via teleconference, WebEx. Now, we know the next proceedings with Jared Leisek will not be televised on WebEx after the fiasco that took place in the last one. So that is the answer to the 5 top questions that so many people have been asking about.
Like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. Like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.